After conceding Sarah's hit and run, Xander goes for grabbing Brady's throat. In the days of our lives today, Fiona allows a guilt-ridden Brady to take the rap. Xander promises to pay his nephew, and Tate comes clean with John and Marlena. Hello, everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone has having a wonderful day after watching these videos. Stay with us to see the excellent news of Days of Our Lives. Please hit the subscribe button and watching this video. In the hospital lobby, Holly tearfully tells Tate they are indirectly responsible for Sarah's accident. Tate assures her the only one to blame is the person who hit her and sped off without helping her. In the square with Victoria, Fiona laments her iced tea not containing something stronger. She notes Victoria is the only one she can confide in because she just looks at her with love. Despite all she's done to Sarah and those who love her, Justin approaches, reintroducing himself as Victor's nephew. As they discuss Sarah, Justin says he hopes they find the person who hit her. Me too, Fiona meekly says. At home, John stares at his phone, waiting for Brady to return his call. Marlena suggests they're jumping to conclusions regarding his guilt in Sarah's accident. John doesn't know what to think and calls Paul to see if he can shed any light. At the police station, Brady tells Jada he's there to make a confession. I was driving the car that hit Sarah Kiriakis. He's telling her now because he needs to set a good example for his son. Plus, the guilt is eating him up. Jada stops his rambling admission to suggest he call his attorney. After Sarah decides she's ready to go home from the hospital, Xander gets Kayla to work on her release. He then suggests to Sarah that they move into the mansion, noting Victor made it wheelchair accessible, complete with an elevator. Plus, she'll have a full staff and her mother to help. Sarah agrees. He asks if it'd be okay for his mother to move in as well. Sarah is totally on board with the idea. In the square, Justin thanks Fiona for essentially giving him his son back by exposing the truth about Victor's hair. Fiona dismisses it as just setting the record straight. She then tenses when Justin answers Brady's call. Trying to play it casual, she asks if everything is all right. Justin relays that Brady turned himself in for Sarah's hit and run. Fiona's eyes anxiously dart. In the hospital lobby, Tate tells Holly how distracted his dad was. He's not even sure he's in trouble. They'd always had their problems, but he doesn't want to lose their relationship, especially after what happened with Theresa. He needs him. Holly offers to go home with him and face the music together. At the townhouse, John hangs up with Paul. He tells Marlena that, as far as Paul knows, Brady isn't drinking. However, he did see him pour a drink, which he didn't consume. Marlena points out that one misstep doesn't mean he's fallen off the wagon. John knows, but he fears they're on the right track. Xander brings a wheelchair to Sarah's room. When she struggles to transfer herself from the bed to the chair, Xander offers his help. She points out she'll have to learn to do this on her own. He knows, and he's behind her 100% of the way. But for today, how about they try and do it together? She softly nods. He picks her up and brings her to the chair. She lovingly looks at him and kisses him. Justin meets with Brady in the interrogation room. He wants to know everything that happened that night. Brady admits he doesn't really know because he was drunk. Justin hangs his head, sighing. Brady assumes he hit Sarah on the way home from drinking at small bar. All he remembers is waking up in the driver's seat of his car with a splitting headache and damage to his front fender. Justin points out he doesn't know for sure that he's guilty. When Xander brings Sarah to the mansion, she thanks him for being so loving and supportive. She couldn't have gotten through it without him. "You're my wife," he says, "who I worship and adore." He will be by her side forever, unless she gets sick of him. She declares that will never happen and sends him off to get her a lemon bar. Once he leaves, her cheery facade falters. Alone with Victoria in the square, Fiona wonders where the waitress is so she can order alcohol. Maggie strolls up and learns that Brady turned himself in. She worries that Brady had been drinking. Maggie gets a message from Xander about him moving Sarah into the mansion. He also wants Fiona to move in with them. Fiona is shocked and honored that he'd want her close by. Maggie offers to take Victoria home while Fiona collects her things. When Xander returns to Sarah with lemon bars, Jada calls to tell him they have the suspect in custody. "Great," Xander says. "Now tell me the bastard's name." Before John can leave to search for Brady, Tate comes home on crutches with Holly. After confessing everything to his grandparents, Tate relays that Brady seemed distracted and took off. John and Marlena exchange a worried look. John answers a call from someone named Larry. Wait, what?" John exclaims. Fiona packs in her hotel room. She knows Brady doesn't deserve this, but she can't ruin her relationship with Xander now that they're on good terms. She hates to see Brady go down for this, but what can she do? She has too much to lose. In the interrogation room, Brady tells Justin he's sure he's guilty. All the evidence points to him. Plus, he has a vague memory of screeching tires. Justin advises him not to make a full confession. Stick to the facts and nothing more, which means don't admit guilt. That's for a jury to decide, if it comes to it. Brady doesn't see any point in fighting it. What he did was inexcusable, and he needs to make things right. In the townhouse, John hangs up with Larry, an old friend who works at the Salem PD. John relays to Marlena, Tate, and Holly that Brady was the one who hit Sarah. Marching into the police station, Xander barks at Jada to see Brady. She orders him to go home, but Xander needs to understand how Brady could drive off after hitting Sarah. It dawns on him that Brady fell off the wagon. Jada confirms he had been drinking. Charging into the interrogation room, Xander grabs Brady by the throat. Jada runs in after him. Justin pulls Xander off Brady, who chokes out that he's sorry. Xander vows to ensure that Brady will spend the rest of his miserable life rotting in prison. Days of Our Lives spoilers. Brady can't keep his secret anymore, so he confesses to Jada about the accident. Brady's secret finally comes out, leading to a confession to Jada, while Fiona's chatter might reveal the truth. Days of Our Lives shows that Brady can't keep his secret any longer. Brady is an addict and has been lying for months to hide it. After just a few days of thinking, he ran over Sarah, and he found he couldn't hold it in anymore. Jada asks Brady about his car, and he truthfully says it was stolen but doesn't mention when. Brady thinks this partial truth will buy him some time, but his conscience takes over, and he confesses everything to Jada. Days of Our Lives spoilers and highlights. Meanwhile, Fiona has been talking a lot, especially to baby Victoria, so everyone knows what's on her mind. Although Victoria is too young to understand, Justin overhears Fiona talking. This might be the clue needed to solve Sarah's hit-and-run case. Elsewhere, Tate and Holly have been hiding out at the Horton cabin all summer, lying to their parents. Tate finally tells Brady the truth, which may have inspired Brady to be honest with Jada. Now Holly needs to tell the truth too. They both believe their lies will be seen as harmless since the adults around them have done much worse. They don't think they'll face any real consequences since others haven't. Days of Our Lives recap. Previously in Days of Our Lives, Tate and Holly try to leave the hospital without being seen but run into Brady. Brady is surprised to see Tate in town, using crutches, and with Holly. Tate admits he stayed on Smith Island instead of going to lacrosse camp. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Maggie shares with Sarah how she felt after losing her parents in a car accident. Maggie was the only survivor and often wished she had died with them. She explains that it's okay for Sarah to feel the same after what happened to her. Sarah thinks Xander is angry enough for both of them and asks how Maggie dealt with not being able to walk. Maggie tells her she felt she owed it to her parents to keep the farm going and learn to live with her new reality. She encourages Sarah not to give up. In the square, Jada tells Xander they have a suspect in Sarah's hit and run, but she can't say who it is. Xander demands answers and grabs her arm. Jada tells him to let go and assures him she will find the person responsible. Xander apologizes and lets go. Jada says she needs to talk to the DA first, but promises to keep him informed. Kristen tells Stefano's portrait that she flattened Brady's car to protect her family, just like Stefano would have done. EJ walks in, questioning what she did. Kristen claims she had to fire Ava to protect the family. But EJ doesn't believe her story. Marlena tells John about Brady's car being stolen. John suspects Jada is linking it to Sarah's accident and worries Brady might be involved. Marlena knows Brady would never leave Sarah if he hit her, but John is concerned, unless Brady had been drinking. At the hospital, Brady asks Tate for a moment alone. Tate tries to explain his lies, and Brady remembers Kristen saying she got rid of his car. Xander arrives, and Tate apologizes for Sarah's accident. Xander mentions that the police might have a suspect, causing Brady to quietly worry. Holly enters Sarah's room, upset, thinking she's to blame for Sarah's accident. Sarah assures her it's not her fault. Meanwhile, Kristen listens in as Jada tells EJ that Brady is the suspect. Jada leaves to get an arrest warrant, but Brady arrives at the station, saying there's no need. He's there to turn himself in.